Hello and welcome to Be Powerful with Liz and Lee. It's a new day and we're so glad you're here.
So you can expect to hear candid conversations on what it means to be powerful. Live authentically, live in the midst of ups and downs, productively, and above all else, joyfully.
We are so thankful for you, our community of listeners, and we hope you enjoy today's show. Hi, Liz.
Hi, Lee.
That just felt like, hi, Barbie.
Hi, Barbie.
It's time to see that again. It's been too long.
I've only seen it twice. I think it's required. We see it more.
I've seen it once, so I got to catch up, and then we'll be golden. How are you today? We look
good.
Workout chic.
We do.
Not Barbie colors.
Branded completely out.
Where do you work?
Guess where? Hilliard Studio Method, baby. You've got on a really vintage one.
I know. I like it.
Mine is probably older, but
whatever. We look good.
Yeah.
I'm just talking myself into it.
Yeah.
At this point, because this weekend I had one of those existential crisis. Who am I? What am I doing?
I think you're a nobody if you don't have an existential crisis at least once a week. Not a nobody.
Whoa. That
not
seems
a nobody. That was
at
that
least
was a lot.
once a week.
That
whole
nobody.
statement was aggressive.
Nope,
Start over.
Let's back up. Unless you're having an existential crisis, at least once a week, you're not paying attention.
Okay, that's one way to look at it.
I'm not saying So, you had one of those this weekend. How are you feeling now?
Well, good. I started my period. We're all good. That explains it.
No,
I know.
Let's not take that patriarchal attitude toward this thing. But that is when your your estrogen drops and all those things.
Things are a little.
You're just like, ooh. Anyway, it's just part of the fun.
Is that how you were? When that was?
It's been a while. It's been a while since I had that beauty. I remember stopping at my period and being like, when it was over,
sad.
When I knew it was over because I was doing all the HRT and all that, and I'm like, oh man, that means like I'm a crone, which is true. I'm in the crone stage of my life. And by the way, it's such a good spot to be in.
Oh God.
Yeah.
We all have our stories, and I think we're just gonna start off with, we're in the studio, not really talking about that, but one thing led to another, and you were laughing.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Okay.
You tell the whole story. Let's just get down to it.
Today, so we got a package from, we're always like breaking equipment, so we had to get new headphones. Someone inadvertently threw away our toilet paper holder. The little cylinder thing that you put in the thing that you put the roll holder. I pulled this thing out of the box. I'm like, what in the hell is this? This is a tampon? What is this? And that started it.
We ordered on Amazon a new toilet paper roll holder.
Yeah.
And yes, then you said what is this? And then you said, back in my day, we didn't have tampons that were so pretty with butterflies all over them. And
I was in my bathroom yesterday, which, yes, you've started your period. And, I'm sorry, y'all. This is probably TMI, but bear with us just for a moment. And there's like butterflies and there's like, little lollipops bullshit all over this thing. And I'm like, back in my day, you had a cardboard tube, you stuck a cotton thing down there, you shoved it up your vagina, you hoped for the best. And boy, when you pulled that thing out, it was like a saw.
Oh my God.
I mean, my mother was really good in her day, better than most, but she was not about to teach me anything about a tampon. Mm-hmm. She's like, girl, you just need to get some Kotex and you need to wear this thing between your legs and put this harness around your hips. And I'm like, and no.
So what'd you do instead?
So here I am, my junior year in high school. And I have been, having my period for a bit. Anyway, junior year in high school, Debbie Ash and I. Debbie, I hope you're listening. She's one of my best friends in high school. Sitting in my U.S. history class. And that morning I went, damn it, I am not wearing one of those big ass boats between my legs, which is what those sanitary napkins pretty much were. So we got some tampons, like illegal. We got us some tampons. So we go in the bathroom at our high school, and I literally did not know where to put it. I didn't know which hole. I didn't know anything about that. And so she gets down in the bathroom and she's down there looking, and she finally just helps me jam this thing up I assume my vagina. All I know is I saw shards of pain. It was like broken glass went off in my eyes. You know, I just went, what is this pain? It's a tampon. And so Debbie's like, you got this. I'm like, hell yeah, I've got it. And I go right on into my, classes. And about third period, I'm in U.S. history. All of a sudden, I'm sitting in there and I'm sort of getting woozy. And all of a sudden, things go black. And I pass the hell, slam out from my desk, sitting up to the floor, out cold. So what I had, which I didn't know then, was toxic shock syndrome, which is a serious problem. Anyway, I didn't know that. I'm alive to talk about it, so yay.
Yay.
But I woke up from my blackout in the arms of none other than the senior football captain carrying my junior or sophomore, I was a junior, my junior body down the stairwells of the steps, handing me off to the ambulance people to drive me to the hospital. And I knew then that my life was over and that I could never walk into that high school again. And then I black back out. I don't remember the ambulance ride. I'm like, why am I in an ambulance? What is happening to me? I'm just having my period, right? I get to the hospital, have no recollection. Next thing I know, my mother is standing over me in the hospital. And she looks like, she's as white as a sheet. She goes, holy cow, are you okay? She was on the golf course of a Cabarrus Country Club in Concord, North Carolina, playing golf with her buddies. And this golf pro rides out in the golf cart and says, Mrs. Clary, I'm sorry, you need to come now. Your daughter's been taken to the hospital and we believe she's having a baby. I swear to God, that's what he said to her on the golf course. I'm like, what? My mother goes, what? And she's there with all her cronies. And they're like, God. Excuse me, what is happening with your daughter?
We know Liz was a problem.
I knew Liz was crazy. Anyway, so I guess they believe since I was bleeding from my vagina all the way from the high school to the hospital that I was having like a miscarriage. I had simply put a tampon in my body for the very first time with the help of my very best friend. And we simply didn't know what we were doing. And I mean, it was lucky. Toxic shock syndrome will kill you. It's a bad thing. And anywho, I mean, all I'm saying is the tampons back then were a whole nother piece of equipment. They were cardboard. They were hardcore. They were cotton.
Your hand motions right now are killing me.
It was the most painful experience up to that point in my life. Okay, so there it is.
Well, since you had a C-section, it might have just been your most painful experience ever.
At least I had Novocaine, not Novocaine. I had like a spinal tap or something.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like that was probably worse than a C-section.
I needed a spinal tap to put that damn tampon in my vagina in the 11th grade. Anyway, you would think I would know better, but I didn't. And
I mean, I guess I don't want to ask any questions.
Like what?
I don't know. It just went up there and ripped you open, or you were in the wrong hole?
I think we just jammed it up. Okay, we are between classes. Hello. No, we're not between classes. We're before the opening bell. And I'm like, this is going to happen. I can't wear one of these napkins ever again. This is too embarrassing. I'm going to gym class, all that. Debbie's like, you have got this. And we just we didn't know even, y'all. I mean, I know, again, TMI, but women, when we first do it, we don't know where our vagina is.
No, I want to fact check. When were you having sex? Because
I was having sex.
Tracking.
Okay, I was having, no, it is I think I was a virgin. This was right before.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, because I mean, I think if I'd had sex, I would have known wherever the vagina was. But I was like,
one would think
you would know that anyway. But honestly, we need to tell our children where their vaginas are. We just do. And you know what? I'm so happy for the children that have been born in this, 21st century, where you have those fine little tampons with little plasticky things on there and that they just slide up there like they're meant to be. Mine was like, mine came with an attitude. It was sort of like, watch this. You think you're going to get this up you? Watch this. You just hold on, girl. You got handles on this bathroom stall? Hold on. And that's kind of the way it went. And then I passed out and went to the hospital. But look at me today. I'm just fine. And God, I can't think of his name. Last name Jones. Anyway, the football
captain.
Player. Yeah, I just thought I could never go to high school again, ever.
The best is that he ran out on the golf course telling your mom that you're having a baby.
Yeah, we believe, Mrs. Clary, you need to go to the hospital. Your daughter is having a baby at the hospital. So
when was all this sorted out? Like by the time you came to, had the doctor told your mom what was happening?
My mother, you think I'm tough? She gave this crew who had given the misinformation to the country club of all people, and small town Concord is like listening. This is all around town. I mean, hell, this girl hadn't even like come out and had all these problems you're going to have down the road. And this word just hit the street.
Pure as the driven snow.
She railed on those whoever. I heard her voice, and I went, whew, whatever went down here, I'm glad I wasn't part of it. I was just laying here on this gurney, and I feel like hell. Yeah. Yeah. So that's what happened.
You know, at the Be Powerful podcast, we love a good spray tan. As we head back to school, summertime begins to fade. Our tans don't have to. No Shade Spray Tanning keeps us glowing all year round, and they're here to keep you glowing all year round. No Shade now has 2 salon locations in Charlotte, one at South Park, one in Birkdale. And we're giving you a special discount code for $10 off any salon spray tan. When you go to noshadespraytanning.com, you're going to choose the South Park or Birkdale location, make your appointment, and at checkout, enter code HSM10. HSM10 for $10 off that salon spray. No Shade continues to offer their amazing mobile services, which cover now all of Charlotte and all of Greensboro with no travel fees. Thank you to our friends at No Shade Spray Tan. Y'all, tell them we sent you for $10 off. Use code HSM10.
We were on a Zoom call with our challenge people today, and we have a guy in there, and he goes, "Women are just so resilient and so capable," and I'm like, do you know what we've had to do all of our lives? You think having the baby's the hard part. It's all the other stuff. Right. And having to listen to y'all's bullshit at the same time. And by the way, Will, I love you. You're the exceptional male.
Oh, my God.
No, it was it was fun. So,
how'd it go? Did you go to school the next day?
I have no recall now.
Yeah.
I really
a blackout
don't.
period.
I blacked all that out. I mean, I blacked out.
Got to move on.
Yeah, I blacked that out. And somehow I was able to finish that year. Somehow. I walked into, my boyfriend. Oh, I remember just dying over that. Like, oh God, don't talk to me. Don't look at me. Yeah. Yeah, it was great.
I have more questions later. I'll ask off air.
Okay, good.
That's hilarious.
Okay,
well, that didn't happen to me.
No, it didn't happen to you. So you just have always had an ease with your body. You feel comfortable in your body. You never had a question about what went where and how that happens.
One time, I guess I forgot there were more than one up there, and it took a minute to figure that out.
No. I'm sorry. You do that now. You do that now. You'll go, I can't. Okay, this is too much information.
No,
we are not going into
you all know
this.
You've done it.
Yeah.
But I've never had to go to the hospital.
I haven't on that. Never had to up in there.
Well, and some of us didn't have to have a C-section. Some of us gave childbirth naturally. So, I mean, it makes sense.
So you're like cavernous up in there.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. We're probably going to have to cut the...
No, it's fine.
Yeah.
No, that's what I love to talk about it. It's my claim to fame. I just pushed 2 babies out. No epidural, no medicine. Let's go.
Yeah, and we've talked
about... I was in a field.
In a field?
No, just like
when
back
I'm in a field, I don't feel like I can push, a 9-pound anything through my vagina. Or any cavity in my body.
How big was Clary when she was born?
8 pounds, 3 ounces.
Yeah, okay.
And she was breech.
Oh, God. That's why you had to have a C-section.
Her bottom was down in my pelvic area, and her legs were up against her face, and they were afraid if she was to... We tried to turn her. I remember standing on my head and doing all these things, but we couldn't turn her, so we just cut me open like a watermelon, pulled her out. She looked like a Gerber baby. She was so cute. But yeah.
No, I had cone head babies, especially my first one. I remember my ex-husband, his dad, later told me that he saw that baby come out and was like, oh, we got a problem. He had no idea that could be a thing. Oh,
That's
yeah.
funny.
Mine were little babies, 6, 14, and 15.
Yeah. Well, okay, maybe that helped. I think every ounce helps.
And they were a week early. There was nowhere for it to go. Waste is
like
a
week early?
7 days each.
Wow.
From their due date. I mean, apparently.
That's so nice.
It was nice.
You've got good, you got good birthing hips, I suppose, as they say about certain women, you could have had a whole bunch of them.
Nope, good. Real good.
You're good.
It was good.
Two were good.
Two in high school. We're cruising.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's official. Anna, from those who asked last week, thanks. She's tore her ACL, MCL, and her meniscus in her knee. So we've got a long road ahead.
Yeah.
She's doing great. We might have hit a wall at this point, but we're going to keep on moving.
Yeah. It's tough on them. I mean, gosh, if I had to be held up for as long as she's going to have to be held up.
And that's what we know from movement. Like if you get a little sweaty and move around every day, you feel a little better. But if you have an injury and can't do that.
And plus she's a runner. She's like a cross-country runner.
Yeah, more of a soccer player.
What is she doing to get this energy out? Yelling at her
That's
mother?
what I'm saying. That's the trouble.
She's like, Mom.
We're going to work on that. We're going to work on that, sweet
skills,
baby.
Skills. Maybe you should get her some upper body,
Well, I mean, now she's going to have to do the method.
Yeah, she really will. And
one way to
and I'm
learn.
going to give another shout out to Sarah Francis Henson. She's our kind of resident high school girl. You'll see her at the desk sometimes now. And she had something similar. And she said, she asked me really sweetly the other day, she goes, how's Anna doing? And I said, well, she's just brand new at this. She's doing great. It's kind of novel. Yeah. And she goes, well... it's going to be a road to be on, because she had the same thing happen.
But a knee surgery, yeah.
And she said, I want to make sure she comes into the studio. And I'm like, that would be so helpful, because, when your mom's the teacher, right? It's like, really, I'm going to go to work with mom. And, but it really is it's a great workout for especially rehabbing knees and joints, and especially knees. So she'll be all right eventually. And as we all are.
Stronger.
I mean, really. She'll be just fine. So, yeah. So, anyway, here we are. We're going through, we're starting the week out. Yeah. We're going through the week. We finished up our challenge. We're getting ready to do another one in October.
Yeah.
Yeah. So get ready. We're calling our these challengers. I think they are naming themselves the Challenger Legends.
The Legends.
The total body transformational legends.
I love it.
Yeah.
You gotta have a legend now and then.
Yeah.
No, it was really fun. So we're gonna stay on that group. We had a text chain and everything, and we had a good time.
Well, they found out that the 4 times a week is the correct amount to do, and that's all they did. And boy, we got some testimonials coming you guys' way. You're gonna it's just the stuff we say or I say all the time, but it's not me saying it finally. Right. Finally, I'm not saying it. Somebody else is saying it.
Yeah. So. No, that's awesome. I'm proud of them. I'm happy for us that we've met this group, and it's not just a trendy workout where you're supposed to show up and do XYZ, and it's a real lifestyle and a community. And I laugh about that because we do sound infomercially, but it is very meaningful. Very important that people find a place where they feel loved and supported, no matter what that is.
No matter what you're doing.
I hope it's
no matter what your thing is, whether it's your exercise workout or it's your book group or it's your friends you hang out with, you need to feel loved and supported. And I feel like if you don't feel that, you need to give more of that and see if it comes back. And if it doesn't, find a new group.
I know. And that's a really positive way to look at it, that when you're feeling low or down or lonely, that you aren't actually alone, and takes a minute of effort, but it comes back threefold, fourfold.
And just in this time, it's been honed in again that people go through, when they go through challenges together, whether it be a physical challenge, an emotional challenge, when you have somebody there that's like, hey, I'm right here beside you, or going through this together, it can just blossom, whatever that challenge is, as hard as it is, whatever, it can become so much more meaningful, and the rewards for that challenge can be greater. And I fully believe that the people that have been in this Total Body Transformation Challenge have not only, I know the community level is so high and so supportive, but I believe that is translated to their bodies working harder. you know, because they felt like, well, I'm the new girl or whatever, but I have these people beside me that are feeling the same way I do. I'm going to try to do this workout the way they're asking me to do it. And you wouldn't think you would see such fast results in 3.5 weeks. But
right. And across the board.
Across the board.
A positive attitude and result. And I know that when they technically finish this at the end of the month, which will be about when this comes out, that energy, even if it's for something beyond the workout, will continue. That thought that this group were not clients before necessarily, maybe one or two, right?
They know each other.
And to do something that you're not used to doing or a little bit intimidated to do, or just stepping out of whatever comfort zone you're in that you know you can, that if you do it little steps at a time, that you keep carrying that mentality on through the rest of your life, that you see other people who are challenged or struggling with something they're doing, and that you just reach out and give them a little, yes, let's go. Let's do this together, is very, very powerful.
I think that's the cure for loneliness. Reach out. If you are lonely, reach out to somebody else, and reach out with courage, because you just don't ever know at all. You just think, oh, I always used to think everybody had it together but me. I think we still, all of us kind of walk around going, well, everybody seems like they've got their shit together. And I am certainly not one of these. Reach out and find a way to connect with people. And it might not always work the first time, but when you reach out and really try to come from a place of love and giving and empowerment to someone else. I mean, truly, the way and I feel like I've gained the power and the wherewithal to be who I am today is by not knowing quite what that was, but giving it away and receiving it back. I just love that. That's what I love about being in the business I'm in, and having, being with you and all the people that we're surrounded with. We've just, as a magnet, we have magnetized these people. And that's what you do no matter what you're doing. If you're selling ice cream, you're going to magnetize the people to you from the vibrational energy you're giving out. And when it is more love oriented or peace oriented, you're going to get that back. When it's more hate oriented, you're going to get that back too. So I choose love.
I'm glad you do. And I think that's a really nice reminder. I mean, we referenced my little meltdown existential crisis this weekend. And part of my learning in that was that you can't do all the hard work for me because I rely so heavily on you. It's a twofold. Like, I need to focus a little more on what I'm capable of doing and watch those boundaries and really determine what it is that I need to function in the world as, a person, as a mom, as a partner, as an employee, instead of sometimes we overgive at a detriment to ourselves, and then I expect you to just
fix it.
Listen,
that's what partners are for, right? Not to fix it, but just be the mirror for each other.
Right.
So one, and I think you've taught me that too, is being a mirror for each other. The hardest skill we have, especially when we think we know what's ailing the one that we're talking to, is to listen carefully. And I've honed those skills with you because we come from different. I've done a lot of inner work. I've also got a 26-year head start on you. That's big, and
it is.
If we're not doing our inner work, we're no good to our partners or to our families and friends. And so we had to. I love those come to Jesus meetings. The harder they are, the better the results are, I believe.
Right.
I mean, because if you can get really hard and go deep, for instance, we were going really deep into some of your feelings that, for whatever reason, and it doesn't matter to me what the reasons are, but they are deep feelings and they are legitimate, and I honor them. And there was some insecurity there.
Right.
And so instead of judging that, I had to go, I really hear this, and forget sometimes that you have that because like I was talking to a friend of mine. We had a beer yesterday afternoon. Yes, I'd love my beer on a Sunday afternoon. And he said something about you. He said, where's your other half? I said, she's got the kids. She's gone to pick the kids up. He said, I think I saw her going to the grocery store. Liz, she's such a little badass now. And I'm like, wow, you should have seen her a couple of hours ago.
Yeah, right. Yeah. That was not the adjective I would have used.
But we were having such a good conversation, and his meaning was he remembered you before me and you.
Right.
And how docile almost, and how don't let me be in the way, and don't let me stand out. And he was really giving you the big compliment.
That's kind.
Yeah.
And I feel that. I do feel that. And it's a badass, I think, in finally owning who I am as a person and not a badass in being better or more badassery than anybody else. And I like to make that distinction because I am still my own person. Like the same insecurities still come out, the same sensitivities, the same habits. My true self still is the same, but it's the more free, better version of me. And I know you've completely helped me do that because you fully accept me and you're that mirror, whether or not it's easy to hear or difficult to hear. The hard times are when it's really difficult.
Mirrors can be tough.
And I think that's frustrating in those conversations with your partner when the same shit keeps playing. And that you said, that affects me. Like, figure out a way. I mean, I can only do so much to help you with issue XYZ, your insecurity of whatever level that is. But like, been there, done that. I mean, I like what you say too. It's like, it's an insult to me, when you don't look at yourself the way I do.
Yeah. Like, do you think I'm such a dumbass? I would be in love with a dumbass.
Right.
Really. And I mean, and it's the truth. I mean,
it's simply put,
at least give yourself enough credit.
And you.
Yeah. And we all have that. And especially remember being more your age. And I'm not trying to be the wise old woman.
But you are. I mean, it's fair. That's what we want to hear.
But I do remember that feeling and feeling just so unheard. And so I really feel heard these days. Because I've done the inner work, I'm continuing to do the inner work. I've said this a million times. It doesn't stop.
It's Beauty Palooza time. How good does that sound? And we are here to tell you how good it's going to be. Our friends at Infinity Med Spa are hosting the 7th annual Beauty Palooza. Save the date, okay? Calendars out, phones out, open up, let's go. On October 5th from 5:30 to 9:30, Infinity Med Spa will be having Beauty Palooza. What is that, you say? One of the most fun, biggest deal beauty events of the year. So let's go. They're going to have giveaways. Infinity does the best giveaways, the best swag bags for the first 300 people. I can attest to it. Go, win, save big. Fun, deliciousness. Oku, sushi galore. Bob Peters, drinks galore. DJ Vinny from the Panthers, music and moves galore. I'll be there. And the staff at Infinity is going to be doing live demos. So if you have a question or just want to check out a procedure before jumping in, go for it. All right, so we'll see you at Beauty Palooza on the 5th, but we're giving you one more thing. New patients, friends of the pod who want to try a service at Infinity Med Spa, get to use code HSM10 when booking your appointment and checking out. Tell them that the Be Powerful podcast with Liz and Lee sent you, and you'll get a special discount off your first service. Thanks to Infinity Med Spa. Let's go, ladies.
I wrote in my journal this morning at 5 o'clock. I felt really wide awake and woke up and wrote. And, I went off on freedom. Like, what is this freedom? It's just such a release into just joy and abundance and not worrying. I literally have stopped. I don't want to say it because I know I'll worry, but I don't worry very much. I'm putting my best efforts forward to be Liz. And I wrote about my own name. My name has power, as in to me. There's an energy that I brought that used to scare me to death as a kid. I thought it was too big. I thought it was scary. It didn't fit in.
You're taught to feel that way.
And it was just big. And I thought, I've got to hide this energy. What is this? That's what that whole wizard, Liz thing.
Yeah.
And now I accept it. And now it's a part of me. And I have this visual of it, and I wear it well, and it's who I am, and it's part me, and it's part God, and it's part my winged dragon.
Oh, I love
it's a lot
that.
of things.
It's a lot of things,
yeah.
and it takes practice and time. And I think to a lot of people, including me, sometimes you present not as a negative of what you're doing, but you present, somebody used this term today, kind of untouchable. Like the example was, she was like, oh, wow, I was working out beside you. And you told me I could put the core ball down. It's like, yeah, I mean, you're Liz, you're the owner. You look like this at your age. And it's just, we put you on a pedestal and you're human. So that's a lot to carry. But I do think that comes from that ownership of that freedom
of who I am,
of who you are,
and
right?
Freedom is the thing.
You seem untouchable, but people get it within you and know that you're not, that you're magnetic.
Yeah. Well, I don't know if
I think
I'm me. I'm me. I'm no longer burdened by the fear that used to hold me back, which makes me more expansive, which some ways can be threatening to some people. I'm no better or no worse than anybody else walking the planet. I've just decided to accept my freedom and to acknowledge my fear. I mean, it's not like you don't have fear anymore.
Right.
You just acknowledge it. And we were talking about this yesterday. Acknowledge that small part of myself, or maybe it's a large part of yourself that is terrified.
Right.
And let her be that way. Let her be that way. You just be here. And while you're here, I'm also here. And we're just going to keep moving forward. And soon that power will diminish. And she'll just like meld back into her power too. I mean, to me, that's how I've looked at my life. Because I see all these different aspects of my life that I was terrified. And
I see that.
Power is knowing oneself and living unabashedly, Liz or Lee. And, lucky for me and you, I mean, I resonate with you, and you're so strong. And so I think your vulnerability and the stuff that drives you crazy, that takes you in your deep holes, is also your power.
Right. And that's a really challenging juggling match to play with yourself. I mean, and I thought, listening to you speak, I'm curious, when we have those moments, when I have those insecurities, why sometimes I just live with it and go, well, that's just who I am.
Because
like
that's what you've grown up to believe.
That frozen unempoweringness.
Don't be so hard on just you. You've been shown this by the world. Whether the words were spoken, the vision was there, the thought was there, and many, many, many times the words were there that said, stay in your place.
Sure.
Don't complain. Don't be a loud force in the world.
You don't do that for a while, and you want to break out of the cage and the shackles, and
which there's not a good
balance. Right, did already. But I just really appreciate your example of more consistently doing the work and not being so afraid of digging deep and finding it, because what I do is just wait and hold and hold and hold and then burst. And that's a terrible cycle. I mean, it's a normal.
It's a cycle.
It's a cycle.
I would hesitate to put any words, good, terrible, good, bad, whatever. It's a cycle. Oh, I see the cycle now. Oh, do I want to keep being on that cycle? Why don't I keep that cycle right there or over here? There it is again. There it is again. How will I react to that cycle now? I mean, I'm no therapist, but I know how to do that for myself.
Right.
I had to, because I believe in spirit. I believe I'm more than just the bones and the flesh and the thoughts I have. I am much more than that. I'm actually, this is just that expression in this plane.
Right.
But I mean, there's so much to tap into, and when you allow that to happen in your life, you look at everybody. I look at you as so divine. You're divine, and you just forget about it. I forget it.
I do, and I don't know if it's a sense of, I don't know if it's a female trait of wanting to be everything for everybody and the best version of that we can. But there comes a time when you go, well, I am not XYZ. I am not the picture on these pages. I am not the image from this post. I am not this person. So if you have the mentality that's supposed to be for everyone, acceptable, presentable to everyone, and you're not, it's getting used to being who you are and being okay with that.
Yeah, and that's not easy.
No.
Except
it's important.
Except when it becomes effortless. And I believe now that the freedom I'm living is effortless. And I see sometimes when the fear comes back, it's just effortless. And when things become effortless, as in who you are, what you choose to do with your material plane life, the things you're doing, start to work. And so therefore I don't worry as much as I used to. I do, human beings are complicated. And so I am complicated, and I do slide into that now and then, but a lot less than I used to, even used to a year ago. So I think everybody needs to have these conversations with their partner, the people they love, or just their friends, the people they respect. Get deep with somebody.
Right.
And, of course, therapy is a great idea. And I hope you'll do that really, or, because it's helped me before, but it's not the end all. You just need somebody in your life that supports you and gives you the room to fail, which is not really failure, but to things go south and then they just flip the other way.
Right.
And know that that's not
retrying.
The end all, and that's not who they are anyway.
Exactly.
I mean, you are more than your sexy self.
Thank you, dear.
So, that was what we've been going through this weekend.
I know. There were about 5 moments in there that I was going to, look at my emotion, that I was going to slip in, no pun intended, a tampon joke or reference, but it was such a good conversation. I tried not to, but there are a few, like the mirror. I don't know, Debbie Ash.
Yeah, Debbie
anyway,
Ash.
Slide right in. Anyway,
I really, Debbie Ash, if you're listening,
I'll never.
I doubt you. I don't know where you are. Yeah, please call me, because you will remember this, and I'd like to talk to you on the phone. I think that you have these friends in high school. That was a long time ago.
That's funny. Well, you're okay, and that's all that matters. And, we've moved along.
We're doing okay together, baby.
Well, I know.
Let's
Thanks
keep going.
for teaching me everything to do and not to do.
Yeah, well, come on. You give me way too much credit. And
No, seriously, I love you. And I hope everybody has you in their life. And if you don't, give us a call. Come to the studio. But truly.
Yeah.
Truly.
Find your people and love them well, and allow them to be free and be themselves, and then you get to do it too.
Yay!
And all right, so I think we're going to land the plane.
We can land the plane, stop the train.
Yeah,
put on the brakes.
I just feel like it's time. I'm excited we're getting ready to go to New York. We already talked about it. We're literally leaving in a couple of days. When we come back, we'll let you know all about what happened on Tamron Hall and all that fun stuff. So, yay.
Thanks, everybody, for listening. Hope you listened to all our sponsored posts, and you're getting excited and treating yourself to some wonderful things from No Shade and Infinity.
Yes. I will be really tan on the Tamron Hall show, by the way.
That's funny.
And our faces still look good too.
Thanks to Infinity.
Yeah, exactly. So, listen to us. We're just so braggadocious.
I know, right?
It's what
we're just trying to support our female business friends and owners and sponsors. And you're like, look at me, I'm going to look so good. And that's why I'm insecure. Just kidding.
Oh, Lord. Okay.
Love you.
I love you too. I'll see you soon. We'll see you guys soon. Take care of each other.
Bye.
Thanks for listening to us today, wherever you get your podcasts. And remember, you can now find our podcast on YouTube.
Yeah. If you liked it, please share, rate, and review. We love 5 stars. And we hope you'll work out with us online or in studio at HilliardStudioMethod.com.